Morning, YouTube. Louie here with the best silver gold deals of Friday, July 18th, 2025. Let's rock. Sorry I was off yesterday. I did a little fishing. Here's a quick look at where I was, San Vicente Dam. And here is the dam. Beautiful big place. Unfortunately, you have to walk up and down this enormous ramp to get to the dock, but it was fun. And no, I didn't catch anything. All right, let's keep going here. And going back to live gold prices and silver prices, we have got gold up $20 to 3,358, and silver up 21 cents to 38.29. 38.78 in the futures market. Good healthy spread there between futures and spot. Gold silver ratio at 87.53, but I fully expect this to drop to 84 and then ultimately break 80 into the 70s. All signs are green for me at the moment. We got the 10-year Treasury down a tad to 4.43 as we continue to, the Fed continues to deliberate Fed rate cuts. And Waller apparently coming out saying he'd cut rates right away. But the economy is not showing visible signs of weakening substantially. And labor market has not totally cracked yet, so there's no real reason to cut rates at the moment, despite the pressure to do so, and that is unless Trump can fire Powell, but proving fraud in that building case would probably be pretty darn difficult. I mean, everyone in Washington spends like drunken sailors, so why would this project be any different? So I would expect no rate cuts coming in the meeting that's coming up. And we have the dollar down about 1/3% to 98.27 after having had a little bit of weakness recently. I mean, a little bit of strength recently, came off the bottom at 96.5 and then bounced off of 98.7, now at 98.278. We'll just have to get through the Fed meeting and see if that downtrend continues. I tend to think it will, and I would not be surprised to see a 90 handle on the dollar as long as the tariff wars continue. Copper market, copper making another move today, 5.59. It was up a little bit more. It was up at 5.62, and housing starts came out a minute ago. They were right about on estimates, so nothing I think should move the markets there. But copper down a tad, but still up 7 cents on the day, 5.59. Nothing seems to be derailing the tangible asset move, the commodity move. We'll take a look at platinum. Platinum at 1480. Look at that chart right there. Platinum continuing to run. My commodities index is up to 19.24. So that chart continues to step higher. Let's see. Let's get a 6-month. Yeah, I think the base metals are going to continue to run here. I think copper is going to continue to run. And I continue to scratch my head why you would put tariffs on something like copper, potentially silver in the future, definitely steel. I continue to scratch my head on that one. And where I come down on this tariff story is that we want prices higher. Our government wants prices higher to incentivize domestic production of critical minerals. And that's what I think is going on here. I think we're raising prices in the United States to make it more likely that we will explore, drill, mine, and produce our own metals. And I don't think silver is exempt from that by a long shot. There was a story out recently that we're, down to like 7 days supply of conventional bombs. And everything that silver goes into. I don't have to tell you that. Okay, in the economic calendar here, what is it? It is Friday, and we're not seeing the smackdown we typically see. Housing starts came in right about on estimate. Building permits, right about estimate. Consumer sentiment, I don't have consumer sentiment for you. But consumers are spending just as heavily as they have in the past. We had record earnings come out. I believe it was from American Express this morning. And why wouldn't there be record earnings with the credit card companies? People are maxed out. They're paying 30% interest. It's a good time for the financial institutions. It is not a good time for the citizens of our country. Okay, in the pre-market, we are back in the extreme greed category. Nothing derailing this stock market, this fantasy market that we have, that does not take into account all the negative things that are going on right now, multiple wars, etc., and tariff stories that are not resolving all that quickly. But stock market doesn't care, and I would think margins would compress on companies. I'm going to get on to, I'll show you an example of that here in a minute. But nonetheless, market continuing to rally higher. Dow up 58, S&P up 6, NASDAQ up 14. And Bitcoin, which is often the canary in the coal mine, is down 105, right around flat at 119,396. Before we get on to the best deals, welcome all new members, subscribers, and people just stopping by. I'm on the website bestsilvergolddeals.com, and you can go there for free and click along with me, see how the prices change on your favorite metals during the day. So I appreciate you being here. And the question of the day, well, it's more of a head scratcher here. This is part of the disruption that the tariff story is causing. I'm on the website firstmint.com. The mint from First Majestic Silver, which is stock is flying lately, and of course they have their own direct-to-consumer products. But look at the header here that a channel member sent me here. Free shipping, okay. Shipments to Canada are impacted by recent tariff bulletins. 25% surcharge on silver shipped to Canada from America. Now, I don't really understand why, they don't have a Canadian arm, or maybe they do, but this is very interesting that these reciprocal tariffs are hitting the silver market, and you're seeing it first here at First Majestic. I have noticed, maple leafs, large gold maple leafs, carrying a much higher price lately. So something is going on in the tariff world as it impacts U.S. and Canada, and it may also impact U.S. and Mexico. Now, we are going to charge tariffs on Mexico and Canada at the current time for imports, but this is on the export side if you're buying from Canada from First Majestic, and you can get their cheesy Las Vegas round there. I wish they would get some new management at First Mint. I just think they could do so much better. But anyway, you may like their products, and you may like their pricing. And you may want to support this direct-to-consumer product they have right here. Let's see what they are charging for bars these days in the United States, charging $4.09 for a 10-ounce cast bar. So that helps you assess whether you want to support them or not and buy their stock. And then you can get another discount there. All right, let's get on to the deals. And the deals are starting with a teeny weeny 1/100th gold, 43.70 at SD Bullion. And you can get that in assay for 126. I'm sorry, a 1 gram gold in assay for 126 if you don't have any gold in your stack and you don't mind paying up a little bit for small gold. And then do not forget, we also have any condition gold in or out of assay for 117 at BGASC. The new customer deal is still there at bullion.com, and I highly suggest that you take advantage of that if you haven't shopped there before and you need a little gold. A 1/10th Gold Eagle this morning is 376 at Summit Metals. We've got a 1/10th maple at 366 at Safe Haven Metals. We've got a .1106 gold ducat restrike at 385, and I'm not sure the quality of that. Let's see the details if you like ducats. It is going to be unspecified quality. I'm not seeing the quality on that, but not too many people buy those. Let's go on to a 1/4 ounce Gold Eagle, 884 at Safe Haven Metals. 1/4 ounce Krugerrand, 874 at Safe Haven Metals. 5 gram gold in assay is 578 at Monument Metals, and the 10 peso is 835 at Summit Metals, and that is a 0.2411 ounce of gold, not that different from the gold commemorative. And this one is 835, but the $5 commemorative is 833. I'd get the U.S. Sovereign $5 commemorative any day of the week. If you divide 833 by 0.2411, 2411, I believe it is, or 2419, one of the two, you're at about 34.50 melt. So not much of a premium on that $5 commemorative. Those are good stacking U.S. coins. A half ounce gold eagle is 1725 at Safe Haven Metals. But silver has really been the story lately. Half ounce gold maple, here you'll see the bump in price, 1771 for a big gold maple. There is some kind of cutoff there, I think, on the tariff story. The Britannia is not exempt from that, 1762 at Monument Metals. A half ounce gold Krugerrand, much cheaper at 1715 at bullion exchanges. You could definitely pick that up if you want some fractional gold. A 1 ounce gold eagle U.S. sovereign gold, 33.97 at bullion exchanges. Spot price marching up on gold here. And you can get a buffalo at Safe Haven for $34.54, but don't pay up that much for a buffalo. Wait for Costco. The big proof gold set, if you can afford that gold buffalo, you really ought to buy this instead. Scrape up a little more money and pick up a 1.85 total ounce proof gold American Eagle set in the OGP, and you save about $1,500 from what the U.S. Mint is charging for the very same set. Here we have a 1 ounce gold maple hippity hop at $33.93 at Safe Haven Metals. And we have an AU maple, okay, it's been circulated, $33.73 at bullion exchanges. Walmart has some good prices on gold maples as well if you employ your credit card strategy. A 1 ounce gold Britannia, $33.95 at Safe Haven Metals. BU, St. Gaudens Double Eagle, is $33.24. 0.9675, is that what that is? 0.9675 ounces of gold in that double eagle, and you may want to get a nice one for a couple dollars more. In the slab, it'll be very, very nice. That is from SD Bullion, $33.64 for that same coin in the slab, MS63. A gold Krugerrand is one of your cheaper sovereign gold coins, $33.73, right around spot at bullion exchanges. Not a bad pickup there, but we'll look on eBay as well. 100 Corona this morning, if you're shopping for gold, $33.06 for a point. What are you? You are a 0.9802 for an Austrian gold Corona. And there you go. There's both sides of there. That $33.06 for that bad boy. And a 20 franc is always a good choice. Here's a very cheap one. It's going to be poor quality, but it is only $6.29. We ought to do the math on that because you may want to buy that. In the details, we see that is 0.1867. So let's do the math on that. $6.29 divided by 0.1867 will get you out the door if you're paying with cash or check at $33.69 melt on this 20 franc. So you could buy as many as you want of those little, well, actually, if you could afford bigger gold, you'd get a better deal on bigger gold. But if you're just looking for small gold, you only have $600. That will be a sovereign gold coin. Won't be pretty, but it'll be gold. Speaking of sovereigns, the British sovereigns, which people generally don't collect in America, $7.98 for another odd weight here, 0.2354, $798 for that British gold. Maybe you'll get something pretty. Okay, let's move on to a platinum eagle. It's like, holy moly, look at that, $16.30 at Pimbex for a platinum eagle. They don't make the BU eagles anymore. I suggest you not buy the proofs. They tend to continue to make those. Okay, and platinum coins are also very expensive here. Let's go to a silver eagle. Silver eagle is 41.39. Any quantity pricing at Monument Metals with a spot price of 38.40 or so. I believe Monument uses the actual Kitco, very close to the Kitco ask price. 38.40, 39.40, 40.40, 41.40. That is only $3 over spot for a BU Silver Eagle, dates of their choice. They are showing both the Type 2 and the Type 1. I recommend you get the Type 1s. And that's not a bad price, but we'll probably beat that on eBay in just a little bit. If you don't mind messed up Eagles, you can get those for 40.82 at bullion exchanges in the cull category. Green light is on. I think we're going to see 40 very soon here. We are just consolidating between 37 and 39. That's pretty much what I predicted. That's pretty much what's happening. We didn't even get down to the low 37s as far as I could see. The other story that the central bank digital currency stablecoin legislation has passed both houses. Trump will definitely sign it, and the Treasury will be trying to pick up a few more bucks for their treasuries through stablecoins. I don't know all the details on that, but maybe they'll garner a little more interest in their long-term treasuries. They are having trouble selling them. I heard that Treasury had to step in and buy longer dated bonds recently. There is not the demand that they want. So we have a battle here on interest rates. And we have shrinking demand for the long bond as the government wants to move everything to the short side and bring interest rates down to zero, obviously. But there's no telling what the long side will do. And possibly by starving the long bond market, perhaps they can keep the demand up. But I think they're going to lose that battle. I still think long rates are going to go higher based on no hope in sight for shrinking deficits or shrinking government debt. So yeah, I tend to think these long rates will go higher, but maybe the Stablecoin Act will help. I don't know. I'm not sure who's going to buy all those bonds. The Federal Reserve has stopped quantitative tightening and has, as far as I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe is engaged in quantitative easing at this point in time, the repo facility also being drained. So at the same time, the banks have been given lower reserve requirements, and they're going to be asked to buy, as many bonds as they can hold. We also have a movement in the market to allow stable coins into pension funds. Or cryptos, I should say, into pension funds. There is also a movement to put private equity into the options of a 401k. Just horrible, horrible, boneheaded moves on the part of our government trying to keep this bubble inflated. I hope you're not engaged in private equity. It is really a losing game. Okay, if you have a lot of money, you better make sure you've got liquidity, because you may not have a lot of money for long. All right, silver coins. Let's get on to a silver kangaroo. 40.32 at bullion exchanges, not bad. A Britannia is 40.32 at bullion exchanges. A Krugerrand's about $1 more. A Philharmonic is less at 40.13 at bullion exchanges. And I suggest if you're going to pick up any of those three, you might as well get the cheapest one. They are all interchangeable, guys. Maple being a little better than the rest of the crowd, and the Eagle being the penultimate investment vehicle for stackers, at least in my opinion. Along with generic silver and constitutional. Okay, and we got the Laser Privy Eagle here. It's coming up in August. It's $105. Will it do as well as the Army Privy Eagle? Well, the Army Privy Eagle is the first of 3 coins to be released, so I think that gives it an advantage over the Laser Privy. Also, the Laser Privy itself is ugly, so jury's out for me on that. I may pick up... I don't know what the product limit will be. It'll probably be a 5 product limit on that, but jury's out for me. But I don't know. It might be a flip. It might not. Superman will be coming soon, as you know. $130. Wow. On Costco, we have got what today? Should be higher prices. And let's see. We got the silver bar at $4.20. They raised the price on that. We have a gold bar. It is the Diwali. PAMP Swiss I don't really know much about that particular bar. Festival of Lights, $33.79. Here you'll want to use your Executive Club membership and a good 2% rebate credit card. And here is the Buffalo, about the same price at the dealer, but you'll get 4% off on this with the Executive Club membership and a good 2% rebate credit card. I suggest you get both. The membership costs $130 if you're buying Big Gold. And Wells Fargo has a 2% rebate credit card, just so you know. All right, so Costco is okay for Buffaloes this morning, and if you don't mind that bar, you'll be under spot on that. All right, moving on. What else do we got here? We got junk in the trunk right around spot at Monument Metals, and I still say that junk is the buy right now. I think silver is the buy. I expect the GSR to drop. Only my opinion and not financial advice. But I would hold on to your junk, and I would get as much of it as you can. But don't forget generic and Silver Eagles, guys, in your base of the pyramid. And that's not a bad deal for junk, but we beat it on eBay every single day. If the Mercs are about the same price, we'll go ahead and get the Mercs here. Those are about 27.8 times face. If you check my cheat sheet here, 27.8 is going to put you right around $39 on the melt side. So it's a good deal on Mercs. You can get 20 silver rounds at bullion.com for $39.68. Pretty good deal right there. And you can also get a deal over at Golden State Mint. And the Aztec round, $39.73. Let's see, I still like the 10-ounce cast secondary bars. Click that link to find that one. 1-ounce bars, what are they doing these days? 40.37. Bars carrying a little premium over the rounds these days. Let's go right to a kilo. A kilo is $12.68 at Monument Metals. Man, can't believe it. And the Perth Mint kilo coin is going to be $13.04 at SD Bullion if you prefer sovereign Perth Mint coins. Now we are on eBay. Let's see what we can find in the Silver Eagle category. Let's find something juicy for you guys if you're hankering to buy this morning. You waiting it for bust below 37? I guess about, a little less than half of people think it'll go below 37. About half think it'll go over 40. Actually, there's a subset there that think it'll stay between 37 and 40, which is another option by November. I think it's going to blast through 40, personally. Let's see, we don't want Silvertown. Here we got some Cull Eagles at about 40 out the door. Pass. Let's get something nice for you. Here we've got some more Cull, skip. Here we got a, let's see if this person takes an offer. It is a mid-size seller, 100% feedback. He will take a best offer. So let's see. If you offered him $8.20, you'd be at 41. After credit card rebates, you'd be out the door at about $40. So that is a good deal there, and he's only got one left. So see how low an offer that guy will take, and you'll be in the money on. You'll have Eagles for the price of rounds. Let's go to a large lot. If you got a large amount of money, and BU Eagles are $42.40 a coin, about $41.30 out the door. That will beat the dealer price as well for a large lot of backdate Eagles from Liberty. There you go. Okay, so both sides looking good there. We'll do the rotation of Maples as cheap as $9.99. That sounds pretty good. Britannia's as cheap as $9.95. And Kangaroos as cheap as $1,050. Krugerrands as cheap as $1,055. Well, we got to go back to number one here. Let's go to the Maples. That'd be my first choice. And check out the $9.99 deal. He is a mid-size seller with 100% feedback. And these, are these spotted Maples? Let's get a good look at those. No, they look good, and they have shield guard. So $9.99. Let's go ahead and check the cheat sheet on that. And we'll call it a day, huh? $9.99. We'll call it $1,000. $38.80 out the door on Maples if you have that PayPal credit card or the American Express Everyday Cash. Check out through PayPal to get that 3% off. You'll be out the door at 38, right around spot on Maples. So that is a smoking dealio right there. And yeah, I would go to a mid-sized seller if I could get that good a deal. And he's got two, even better. but you're not going to get over $2,000. Unfortunately, you heavy hitters in California can't do that. Don't pay sales tax, guys. Okay, and I mean, try to avoid it, for God's sake. And we'll skip the Carson Cities and the Morgans this morning. Go to the cheapest kilo. Can we beat 1,300? 1283, about 1250 out the door for a kilo. You divide that by 32.2. Let's call it 1260 so I don't lie to you here. 1260 divided by 32.2 is going to get you a 39.13 out the door price. I don't know, about 70-cent premium on a kilo there. Let's go to the vintage bar of the day. This is pretty darn cool. C&G Mint 999 silver bar, odd weight bar 10.3. 625. He'll take a best offer, but that is just a neat old bar right there from C&G Mines. Okay, let's keep going, and we can get a kilo kook as cheap as $13.25 minus rebates. Let's get a large lot of 1 ounce rounds. Too cheap, $39.45. Really? Okay, it is big seller, good feedback, $39.47. These are secondary market rounds, and what will they be? Well, there's some good stuff in there. There's some Sunshine Mint stuff, some Tea Party stuff, the remake of the Prospector. That's an Elemental product, I believe. And that looks like a trade unit. That's a trade unit. I really doubt you'll get the trade units. If you did, it'd be a score. So $39.47, take 3% off, would put you about 100. That would put you at about $38.30. That'd be right around spot there, guys. That's a great deal. That's a great deal right there for rounds. You might even get something cool. Oh, heck. Oh, that was nice. We're doing good today. In a small lot, it's going to be... people don't like this one here. I don't know. It's hinky. I'm not sure about that. $800 for buffaloes, and you'll be out the door at about $38.90 a coin for buffaloes, about 50 cents over. So we're beating the hell out of the dealers on eBay's. How about the cowboy round? That's going for $41.50, about $40.50 out the door after 3%. Let's do a big bar. And a 100-ounce bar is going to be, this vintage bar here is still there. Very nice buy if you got a 100-ounce vintage bar stack, $3,900. And 3% off of that would be about $120 off. You'd be at about $37.80 on that bar. And moving on to the gold. All right, let's do gold. 1 gram gold as cheap as $121 minus 3%. Let's do 1/10 random gold. 1/10 random gold, $362 minus 3%. Is that in stock? Yes, from bullion.com. Let's go ahead and move up to a 1/10 gold eagle. A 1/10 gold eagle as cheap as $375. Let's check that one out. That is a mid-size seller, $5 shipping, $380 minus $10, about $370 out the door for a 1/10 gold eagle. Moving on. Random 1/4 ounce gold. And let's see what we got here. We can go to 883 random gold coin. Okay, it'll be sovereign. Looks like it may be Australian or it may be Canadian. 883. So what's the deal on that? Let's do the math. 883 times 4. The melt, first price, $35.32 times 0.97 with a good credit card rebate. Out the door, $34.26 for a 1/4 ounce random sovereign gold coin. Not too bad. Let's go up to 1/4 ounce gold eagle as cheap as $8.97 minus 3%. Moving on to 1/2 ounce random gold. 1/2 ounce random gold as cheap as, get you something you'd like here. Moving past the first spouse coins, the pandas. U.S. Mint 1/2 ounce gold coin. Oh, I like that. U.S. Sovereign. Random. Won't have any OGP. Oh gosh, they're going to give you some head coins as well. Oh gosh, well you could get something pretty ugly there. 1773. Let's step it up a notch. Here we got half ounce gold coins, random mint. All right, no commemoratives there. 1776, and that puts you out the door at about 1726 for a half ounce of random gold sovereign coins. We're going to keep going here. And half ounce gold maple, no tariffs here. Let's see, 1838 puts you out the door at about 1788. Over 1500, over 3500 melt there. Let's keep looking. Random 1 ounce gold. Bigger the gold, bigger the savings sometimes. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Anything really juicy? 2600. No, I don't think so. I need to reset my minimum on this. It won't be 3000. Those will be scams. It won't be 3100. My God, look at all the scams there. 33.25. That's too cheap. Yeah, 6 feedback seller. If you buy that, you're cruising for a bruising. Here's a Krugerrand from a big seller. Good feedback, free shipping, and poor lighting on that. Looks to be circulated. 34.46, $100 off. Put you under spot on a gold Krugerrand there. 1979. Boy, that could be the same Krugerrand I owned at one time. Anyway, yeah, he's got poor images there, but I would expect that to be circulated. But he's a big seller with good feedback, so you could be under spot on a Krugerrand. What else we got here? We got a maple at 34.55. That is big seller, good feedback, about 33.40. That'd be under melt as well. And it is BU with abrasions? Okay, how can it be brilliant uncirculated with abrasions? I don't know. I don't really get that titling there, but that'll be under spot on a gold maple. And since they're melting a lot of that stuff, you probably still only get 2% back a spot when you sell it. And it's authenticated, so that might be a decent deal for you. If you want to go up to another scruffy coin, 34.81, and a gold bar in assay from a one feedback seller, no thank you. Let's keep moving here. Let's go to the gold proof set, see if we can get a good deal on that. 5,900. Oh, so you can bid on this. Big seller, good feedback, $12 shipping. He's selling his proof set. Right now the bid is $5,900, but if you can get that under 6,300, because you can tell this guy, well, you can't tell him anything. It's an auction. But if the dealer is selling these for 6,300, which is not much above melt, then you may be able to pick this up at 62 or 6,100. You may want to get in the running for that bid right there. Take your 3% off, and you have got sovereign proof American gold. That's nice. Otherwise, you'll have to pay 6,600, and then about $200 off. It'd be right around a push with the dealer after your credit card rebate. How about a Buffalo? Can we beat 34.50? Oh, looks like we can here. Who are you? Mid-size seller, 100% feedback. You'll have to decide if you want to play with a mid-size seller, but look at that Buffalo. Oh, that's a proof Buffalo. Ooh, I like that. Let's get you the real price on that, because you could pick that up right now if you're a Buffalo fan. Don't buy proof Buffaloes at the U.S. Mint, guys. Get them in the aftermarket. 3,500 times 0.97 with a good credit card. That PayPal credit card is unlimited 3% cash back. Check out through PayPal. Look at that, $33.95 for a proof gold Buffalo for 2006. He's only got 423 feedback, so take that into account. But shipping from Dover, Delaware. I've been to Dover, Delaware. There's a big military base there. The ground shakes when those big planes fly over. That is a good one there. If you got some big bucks and you want to pick up something beautiful for cheaper than a BU Buffalo, oh, score. Okay, a Krugerrand, no, those have been at spot at the dealer. We won't do that. How about a commemorative? That 3-coin set, I think, is back up. Somebody bought it and then gave it back, I guess. Anyway, that's a good deal on this 2-coin proof set. You basically get the silver for free. $8.49, $15 shipping. Take your 3% off. I do recommend those sets, because you get that 0.241 ounce of commemorative gold, U.S. gold. Then you get kind of like generally a free silver coin in the deal, which is in itself worth $30. Lots of good choices for you there. The 835 deal's out of stock. BGASC mucking up eBay with expired listings. Here is another deal at 849. Okay, 849 minus 3%. You probably beat the dealers on that one. And let's go to the Big Daddy, and that is 41.93 for 1.21 ounces of Mexican gold. On this one, you would take about nearly $200. About 150. Let's see. 3%, 120, 100, about $130 off. It puts you at 40.60 on about 1.2 ounces of Mexican gold. That's going to be a BU Mexican 50 peso. Very nice coin right there. Big, heavy, impressive coin. All right, moving on. Here's some stuff in my eBay store. I listed a few more things the other day. If you are looking for something there, ask me for a friend discount. And you know I pour bars. You can also get you one of those if you're interested. All right, and moving on. If you're on eBay, don't forget your precious metals verifier or your vacuum sealer. Both of those will come in very handy. Or even an empty monster box. You can refine your bars with the Devil Forge. You buy that on Amazon and melt those big bars into shot. Make anything you want. The Amex card, 3% cash back, and you check out through PayPal to get that. Also works at the grocery store and works on Amazon if you're an Amazon junkie. The PayPal card is unlimited cash back, 3% cash back, only when you check out through PayPal. That works at the U.S. Mint as well. You really ought to get one of those. Quicksilver card I also recommend, and I'm now recommending the Saver card from Capital One, which will get you 3% cash back at the grocery store and even more when you travel. Doesn't work for internet purchases, only 1% there, I believe. But you save your other cards that way for the good stuff, okay? All right, and moving on here, and I'm going to skip the picks of the day, but there's always a lot of cool stuff out there you may want to consider for your collection. Make sure your collection is smaller than your stack, okay, guys? Don't forget your nickels. If you like what copper's doing, why wouldn't you pick up a box of nickels for $100 and just put those away for 10 years? You can support my work if you like what I'm doing here with a cup of coffee. I greatly appreciate it. And also you can join my membership channel, link in the description box below if you want to be part of the inner circle or buy my my silver bars that I personally pour. Okay, guys, I got to wrap it up there, but check out the chat room on the top and the bottom of my website if you want to get in there. And there's some interesting discussion every day there. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget the thumbs up. Share this if you know people that are paying too much for gold and silver. And subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.